and the government of Morocco for this warm reception and wonderful organization of the meeting. Also, our thanks are extended to ECA management for this well-organized meeting. As for Sudan, a country which has been unstable for quite some time, we have no access to capital markets, we are not rated, and also we have very little access to any source of ODA. So we have no choice but to resort to mobilization of domestic resources. That's the only way to keep breathing, actually, and to be above the service. One thing we have decided to do first is to get rid of subsidies, or at least to make sure that there are no blanket subsidies as such. If you are going to support any party, it has to be a direct subsidy to those who really deserve it, and not blanket subsidies. So we got rid of fuel subsidies, we got rid of bread subsidy, we got rid of gas subsidies, and we are left only with subsidies for medicine and partially for electricity. So that way we save some money for more pressing purposes. That's number one. Number two, we connected any incentives to the tax workers to broadening the tax umbrella and to better collection of deserved tax. So actually, we are not increasing the tax rate. We thought that is not just, because some keep paying more and more and more, while others are escaping or evading tax. So we decided to bring more companies under the umbrella, and the tax authorities are paid for bringing more people, more companies under the umbrella, and also intensified or the given incentives for collecting more arrears. In the past, they just keep the arrears, postponed it more and more, but we decided we will not pay them unless they collected arrears and they brought in the tax base. So every time we ask them how many companies has been brought into the tax umbrella and how much money has been collected from the arrears. And that helped us increase the tax revenue substantially. Of course, all this is not enough, because our informal economy is so huge and the formal economy is so small. We need to bring the informal economy somehow to the formal economy, and this is taking time. And when we decided to change the banknotes, we made it compulsory for people to change the money through the banks so that we can know who is doing what. And that helps us know part of people. And then we made it clear that we are not going to pay cash for those who deposited their money when they open the bank accounts. They have to keep the money in the bank accounts, then they can pay and digitally out of those accounts, but they are not going to get it cash. So that way we brought some of the people to the former the economy. What we are trying to do in the future is, and we started actually working on this since 2015, digitalization of the tax system and digitalization of payment systems in the country as a whole. That's taking time, but we're moving, and that's helping us now increase government revenue substantially. And we're quite hopeful by the end of 2027 we would have digitalized most of the payments. Here we are also facing obstacles. One is internet penetration is limited, and the coverage is so limited. It's less than 40%. So the rest, those who are out of the coverage, cannot use a digital system to pay or to accept money. So we have to resort to USSDs for payment, and that's more difficult, but now people are getting used to it. The other obstacle is that, one, electricity is also is a problem. Wide areas of the country are not covered by electricity, or people have no access to electricity. So if you want them to pay electronically, even if they have phones, they have difficulty charging those phones and having access to the internet. So those are difficulties. We are trying to solve them, trying to pay points to them, or sales points to them, trying to have solar energy in the areas, remote areas, so that people can have access. And we are trying to make sure that with the USSDs, people can always manage payments. Also, we are thinking of better management of pension funds. In the past, actually, part of it went to government securities, part of it to banks, also shares, but most of it has been invested in real estate, and this is just like the money that has been put aside. So we are trying now to make use of pension funds in a more active way, so that this can help us move things. As far as the second question is concerned, of course, learning from the South is very important, because we have a lot of similarities. So if we want to do what the people in the West are doing, the obstacles I'm talking about are not there. So they have no problem of electricity, they have no problem of the internet penetration, the structure of their economies are different, the informal economies are almost non-existent, so the situation is different and does not apply here. I cannot copy and paste, but I can go to a third country, third world country or South country, where we have similarities, and we can learn from each other. And that's, I think, very important. For example, for taxing the communication companies, we used to get the tax paid after 60 days from collection. Then we went and made use of the tax experience, communication tax experience in Egypt. And we found that they are collecting it on the spot. The moment the company gets the money, the government gets the money. We just applied the same system, and we are now getting the money immediately, as they are doing. So you can learn from the South. Of course, we can learn from others as well, but because the experiences are the same. We do believe technical assistance from our institutions are very important, because at the end we need equipment, we need know-how, we need people to be trained in how they can mobilize domestic resources, and we need to exchange experiences through these institutions. So we do believe learning from the South is very important, and technical assistance from our institutions can help accelerate that learning. Thank you very much, Nadia.